What do you love most about LCS? Winning it.
Studio.
Just love competing, honestly. I think that's probably my pride and joy.
It's my home. I play here. I'm in the ecosystem, so I'm just grateful it exists.
Is it boring if I say that my favorite thing about League of Legends is also competing? When you shit on somebody and like outplay people.
The glory that comes with it when you win.
I love the competition the most about LCS. I get to play League as a job. It's pretty cool.
LCS, it's summer 2024. This is Corki, and this is what he thought was about to be a nice drive home, only to unfortunately encounter the worst traffic of his life right before he pulled into the driveway. Palafox getting crushed by the Requiem in the previous game.
I love that animation. That little alien pops out at the end.
Welcome back, everybody. In case you're just now joining us, we are heading into game number 3 between FlyQuest and NRG. FlyQuest stomped game number 1. NRG had a big lead in game number 2, but it ended up being close. And for game number 3, we're bringing Licorice back on the desk to join us for this one.
Our biggest, most important change here. We got to bring in the big guns here for game number 3. Let's settle this. NRG versus FlyQuest. What is your main takeaway from the previous game?
The previous game, NRG killed the bot lane, and then they got ahead, and then they closed out the game. I think that is that's what I saw.
That's a good cliff notes right there on that game. That was
a succinct summary.
Yep.
Some nice, good old-fashioned League of Legends.
But yeah, I think, I mean, it looked a little messy, but they did get the win in the end. So we're on game 3, so we'll just have to see if they can pull it off again.
Yeah, I just particularly was taking notes of 2 aspects of it. One was Contractz' kind of resilience in the jungle, but the other main one was these Barons for NRG, which have been pretty abysmal so far the split, and so it had like started to build into a type of a thing. You're on Digitoss now. They used to have a bit of a meme with that, but these ones were, I thought, really well timed in their Baron rushes, which is something that you can truly mess up as well. Like, you can mess up Barons in a lot of ways, you know, turning off of them too early or not entirely, or not keeping enemy jungles out, but these burns with Zyra are just so fast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, the Barons looked really good. Zyra is a little bit of a cheat code, so they might we might see them like highly prio that Zyra, because that was something that worked for them last game. But like, they did look a lot better in game 2 than in game 1.
I mean, both games this series, blue side Zyra has resulted in the enemy bot lane both dying before 5 minutes into the game. I'm beginning to think blue side Zyra might be the sauce, gentlemen.
I mean, it did look strong, although I think from Inspired's perspective, he got the enemy jungle. He got his jungle. He's going to his top side. He says, guys, Zyra has 1 play. Please play safe bot, and then they die. So
that is exactly what I was saying. That is exactly what I was feeling. Like, I could also feel the same rage because they even defended it once and got his flash and punished him for getting on Grump. Let's get into game number 3, though. You know, new game. This is all best of series now in the LCS, so you got to clear your mind, clear your head.
New game, but NRG remember their lesson from game number 1. They're back on red side. They're paying their taxes this time. Skarner is not getting into the rift. Bwipo's going to have to play something different.
yeah, it's the new Skarner tax. Used to be you buy QSS in game. Now it's you ban him out
now
of game.
It's red side ban. Has to get rid of him or you lose.
You got to pay your taxes earlier now. Is the only difference with the rework.
Right? Yeah. You got to do that a couple month early check-in. Just make sure all your forms are in order and whatnot. Rumble also banned away those top 2 top laner picks. Neither one of those going to be allowed here in this third and final game. Nautilus and Senna both banned out here too.
Yeah, so the other 2 top laners at Licorice you had up in your tier list were the Cassante and Renekton, both really good blind. And looks like will be left up this time around as well for this squad. To me, I have really had a magnifying glass on that Senna. So I'm kind of happy to see the Senna now taking that priority because it has been so useful in so many of these team comps. And we've seen the Senna be one of the most annoying things in the game where not even laning bottom lane, just harassing mid laners, harassing top laners, making the early lane phase as painful as possible for the rest of the team.
And going back to what you guys were both saying in draft number 1, when NRG let the Skarner through, they did it so they could pick the Senna themselves. This time recognizing, hey, we actually can't let Skarner through. The trade just doesn't really work out. They're also now going to say, but we don't want to give you first pick Senna. So they'll be responsible for banning out that pick, even though they were the
ones who played it the first time around. Cassiopeia, the traditional counter to those AD mids like the Tristana and the Corki, that's going to be banned away. The Ashe banned out by FlyQuest. First pick of the draft is Leona for Busio.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. They banned the Nautilus, which is like the other high-tier blindable support. There are like answers like the Alistar, but like Leona and Nautilus are kind of like the two blind supports. And they banned one, they picked the other, so they're going to have a lot of early power in that bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely a Warmogs enjoyer with the new Warmogs giving a flat 1,000 health. You know, very good for health stacking junglers like Sejuani, you know, like Skarner for solo queue. But also, Leona, a huge enjoyer of it, and utilizes one of the parts that people don't think about a lot, which is the move speed. The out-of-combat move speed on that thing is so good for this because one item power spike supports. It's like back to the old days of not quite Moby Boots level, but you're super, super tanky with all the health, and you get to go around spam ganking people.
Yep, and we get to see this time around, Quad played Tristana in both previous games of the series. This time, Palafox is going to be the one who gets the priority on that mid lane champion. We'll see if FlyQuest wants to go ahead and pick up the Corki for Quad in mid lane as that handshake. They are likely assuming that if they do not pick it up in this rotation, that NRG is going to ban it out during the second half of the ban phase. And sure enough, there it is. Corki locked in for Quad.
Yeah, the Corki Tristana trade is kind of a staple right now. I feel like Corki is always on some side of some trade. But he is a really strong champ right now, and I mean, so is Tristana, so both teams happy to just trade those back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, and then of course both teams are going to be looking at AP jungle options as well, because one of the other best sources of AP is like Rumble for a top laner, but that one's already banned out. So generally, there's so many good AP jungles right now that you don't have to invest early draft resources into them, and you can get them a little bit later. Although the Zyra is probably climbing up a lot, you know, things like Brand, Lilia, there's lots of other ones that can burn down. We even had the Morgana already coming out, so yeah, so many of those, and FlyQuest opts to get their second AD carry here instead.
Yeah, I think the Ezreal pick is really strong here, especially just like looking at the Alistar specifically. It's really hard for Alistar to do anything into the Ezreal, so I think that's kind of like a response pick in the draft, and like it should be really hard for NRG to like get a good bot matchup this game. And I think Massu and Busio will have a lot of prio, and Busio will have a lot of time to move around the map and make a lot of plays.
Yeah, extremely scary thing when Busio is going to be the one with the Leona this time around. So yes, NRG will take away some of the K'Sante answers here, starting with the Poppy. We'll see if they also move towards the Urgot. Bwipo is a big fan of that one. Bwipo has a kind of unique like anti-K'Sante pool, so maybe they don't chase that one too far down the rabbit.
Yeah, Bwipo plays a lot of champs. I think if they were going to ban anything here, I'd expect maybe the Olaf, just because it is good into the Alistar. It looks decent into the comp. It's not great into Tristana, but it is one of the champs that Bwipo is known for. But otherwise, I think you're going to ban something else.
And I mean, they did ban the Olaf out in the previous game, right? Like, that is one of those things that they also detected as an answer. But no, it'll be the Renekton instead, just going for the tier list, going for the solid all-around pick.
What's he getting close? Mordekaiser's in the middle.
I see Olaf on the screen.
Olaf's there.
Oh, we're hovering it.
Get that mouse over toward the Nasus. What about that? We haven't had a Kayn in a while.
You know, I'm pretty sure this is just where by default the champion list is when it's your time to pick.
Don't ruin our fun, Flowers. We're
just in the middle of the alphabet, man.
This is peak backseat gaming right now. I feel like that's my best, like the most fun pro backseat gaming, where we literally get to the over the shoulder
look over the guy's
view.
shoulder. Hey man, you should pick that one.
Yeah, that was cool. Get us back in. Yeah, get us a mic down there or something, a speaker. Get us a speaker down there. We'll have a Twitch chat start voting and everything. Let's see, some interesting hovers here, but yeah, this one much more likely.
Yeah, the Zyra has been looking really strong this series, so I would be surprised to not see them lock it in. Although NRG did actually have the chance to take it on 4. So they must have some idea of what they're going to play into it instead.
They have to, right? This R5 pick for NRG has to be something kind of saucy, because otherwise I feel like the Zyra over the Kai'Sa would be a pretty easy choice, since you already know what the enemy bot lane is going to be anyway.
And TF is locked in as the answer to K'Sante here. And the lane matchup is really good. And the difficult thing this game is just like, because you have one less tank in the team comp, it's like if you don't get those early leads and you don't have pressure on the map, then the game gets really hard to play because so many of your players are going to be so vulnerable.
Or if Busio feeds and he's really weak, then then you've got a very squishy front line.
Yep.
I mean, this makes even more sense why they banned out the Karthus, right? Karthus presses Requiem when you have 4 squishy ranged champions. All of a sudden, nobody feels like they can even approach the fight. But there is your red side
Diana.
5th pick in the draft. It'll be Diana in the jungle for Contractz.
This is what they were holding for Contractz. This pick right now is another. It is much more. It's similar in speed clearing, but it is much more a counter in the hard engage for all these squishy champions. Like Diana getting in here for the big combos. You have a Kai'Sa that follows up. You have a very good dive composition here to be able to follow up with Tristana and Kai'Sa being those mobile carries from the backline, and then having other dive partners in K'Sante and Alistar for the Diana. I actually quite like it. I know this is a pick that's a little controversial at the moment.
Yeah, I know some Diana was played in the LPL by Milky Way, and it is seen as like kind of a counter pick into these really squishy mage junglers where it's like if you find the Zyra in the river, like Diana is going to win that every time, pretty much no matter what the state of the game is. So I think Inspired's going to have to be really careful this game, and Contractz will hopefully be able to take over the game with Diana.
Yeah, and it's especially potent when you have the melee supports as the big meta, because then you get your guaranteed engages, and like that Zyra's going nowhere if you get early river control. So we'll keep our eyes on wards really early on bottom side river especially, because if those supports start roaming with the junglers, then it gets very, very scary.
And let's just go ahead and reassess the stakes of this third game here, because you guys talked a little bit about it back in game number 1. If you lose this series, starting off 0-2 for either one of these squads feels really bad. FlyQuest was just one of our top 2 teams in the previous split. NRG was the LCS champion just last summer. Neither one of them wants to have that abysmal start when you're only playing a grand total of 7 BO3s for the regular season. So let's see who's got it here in game number 3. You're going to see FlyQuest immediately 5-man squad to control the bottom side river.
Yeah, looks like they're going to get a little aggressive level 1. The Leona Ezreal is going to be a lot stronger than the Kai'Sa Nautilus, so FlyQuest can choose to do whatever they want to do on this bot side. I would be surprised if they went for a full split map here, just because they have the TF top lane, and generally you don't want to split the map away from the TF, but he is staying down here, so it looks like they're doing something.
Yeah, and that's kind of why NRG invested so many wards here. They lost the ward that was up in the top side of the river, but the second one seized a little bit of a trap. And let's see, how deep are they going to get? Because Huhi's still sticking around. We're 1 minute 20 seconds, so they are committed to this.
Yeah, it looks like NRG's actually opting in for the full lane swap here. They're sending their duo lane top, and Dhokla's just going to jungle with Contractz here. So they are just completely opting out of that TF K'Sante matchup and the early bot lane matchup, which makes sense because they lose both of them so hard.
Yep, really, really good investment in the wards here, kind of pulling this strategy out. Even though we will go over the kind of nerfs, the very soft nerfs, I would say, to the strategy. The damage reduction for the first 5 minutes on top tower has been increased to 75% from the 50%. And then, of course, your first tower going down, the bonus gold got doubled from 150 to 300. But looks like it will just be the slow push here, while you have the classic Twisted Fate just hanging around mid lane, trying to be as annoying as possible. The top laners, you basically choose the least annoying job for yourself. Are you a fan of helping the jungler, Licorice, or trying to harass the enemy mid laner? I guess it depends on your pick.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on the pick. I mean, TF, you're definitely looking for those angles into mid lane. If you can ghost in and burn the flash, that's really valuable in this kind of game state, because you just don't really get to play the game for the first 5 minutes or so. And I think it was soft nerfed, but I think what NRG's kind of going for here is they're saying we're going to go down maybe 2 or 3 plates. It's about 500 gold. They think they'll go down more than that if they just play the lanes out properly with all these losing matchups. So they're just taking the gamble.
Yeah, I like it. They're willing to pay that price. And I think it is a good call. We'll see about the bit of snowball, though. As for you, were you very happy to see that there were some nerfs at the very least after watching MSI and seeing a decent amount of lane swaps come back? Or do you find it interesting? I mean, some top laners are you know what? Maybe there's some little interesting here where you get to get real creative even though you are very poor and underleveled.
Yeah, I haven't met any of those top laners.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think those guys are real, man. I just straw man that.
Personally, I don't really enjoy being the weakest person on the map the whole game, but like, you know.
You're like being level 1, 3.5 minutes in?
Yeah.
I'm just gaslighting you right now. Yeah, lots of top laners like this. Actually, you're kind of weird for not liking it. It's you just get to express your creativity and.
But yeah, it looks like FlyQuest, they're opting into sending the Corki top because he has TP. I was actually wondering how they were going to get out of it because TF running all the way to top lane with no TP is really hard. So they send Corki top, and now TF's laning against Tristana. So it'll probably be like more mid prio for NRG and more top prio for FlyQuest here.
So after we got done with the initial silliness of the lane swap and the massive waves crashing, it was 2.5, almost 3 full plates taken by FlyQuest here in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, up in the top side, NRG didn't even get the first plate. There's still just a little sliver of HP remaining on it, and that's kind of those damage reduction nerfs that you were talking about, making it more difficult for this strategy to work for the team who sends their bot lane towards the top side. Just one more auto attack from like one champion. Probably would have taken that. But unfortunately for NRG, they don't get it, so now they're a couple of plates behind.
Ooh, Contractz comes in, able to get the smite and the Q there for a couple of the small ones as well, making use of the bottom lane push. When you have the Alistar coming with you again, it's so scary for the other side.
Hold on, Kasante's about to get his first farm. Look, this.
Yeah.
Bam, there it is. 4 minutes and 47 seconds into the game. That's top lane, baby.
Yeah, I bet if you talk to Dhokla after this one, he'll be like, yeah, I love lanes.
Let's get his cam up here. Huh? Where's the cam? Oh, that is a picture. That is a picture of enjoyment.
Just living his best life up here.
I think it's, yeah, the shoulder positioning there really looks relaxed.
He's kicking back, man. He's along for the ride. Oh man, lane swaps are something else. Palafox versus Bwipo back in the mid lane. Obviously the farm advantage there for Palafox, considering he's actually been playing the lane the whole time as opposed to the first 4 minutes just being a little bit more of a vacation. See, the highest level in the game still belongs to those two mid laners on either side as Palafox looks to crash this wave. And we have seen a couple of unfortunate cannon minion misses from Quad's Tristana in both previous games. A couple of -1s. Looks like Palafox not going to be committing the same sins here in game number 3.
Yeah, and this is the power of the Ezreal right here into the Alistar, where he's actually 1v2ing bot lane and crashing the wave while Leona's top side getting the grubs. So while they did swap out of the early worst time of the lane is like that 1, 2, 3 levels, it still is really hard for them to play the game because Alistar is kind of stuck bottom and he's really not able to do very much.
Yeah, so FlyQuest, I mean, they're kind of happy actually with it, even though they didn't abuse the very beginning of the early levels. They still get to move on up for grubs on grub spawn. Pre-6 minutes, already heading up there, annihilate those things. As you're saying, when Ezreal here at Massu, he's got barrier, he's got flash, he's got arcane shift. So actual 1v2, it's like, don't worry, I got bot lane under control. You can go up there to the grubs to guarantee Busio that we're able to get those grubs for Inspired. And then we got a little party waiting for him though. Huhi, the other support, is getting a little sneaky.
Yeah, Contractz knows the timer on these chickens because he stole the last one away, and it just means that it's so easy for Huhi to wrap around, make the punish. They know that Inspired is hungry for chicken, and they're ready to give him a vegan menu.
Yeah, I mean, really good setup by NRG. Just like really solid, getting the Diana head. It's only going to get worse for the Zyra as this game goes along. Every time Contractz finds him anywhere, he's just going to have to run away. So I think like the game is in a really good state for NRG. Like, considering the state of the draft and how hard they would have lost early had they played normally.
Yeah, I mean, all of the setup for that play was so good. Then you're inspired, you're walking over to your brush like, all right, Raptor time, and then Cal pops out from behind you. Tristana jumps over from mid lane right onto your head while Contractz just ults you right in the face. Instant deletion. So, yeah, that's a little taste of what they're looking to do later with the push. Meanwhile, that Kai'Sa also then able to push in this wave, get the reset off. So FBI here now level 6 as well, so can join some of these plays that do break out when you're looking for your skirmishes around the river. Again, the river between mid lane and bottom lane, I feel like just should be packed with action in this game.
Yeah, and also, while Ezreal is a really strong pick early into these champs, it's only going to get scarier for him as the game goes on. Like, at a certain point, once Kai'Sa gets enough items, she can just ult on him and kill him instantly. And it's only going to be like harder with the Diana also going in there with the flash ult.
Oh yeah.
Just all the dive from NRG.
Yep, the dive very scary. So what FlyQuest want to do, try and spread the map a little bit. Bwipo here on the top side. Does have his ult, not going to pop it quite yet, and Contractz waiting.
Yeah, Contractz is just going to back away now, though. Let me ask you guys, how do you want to see Bwipo use these ultis here early on with a Twisted Fate? What's going to be the biggest value play to get out of them?
I mean, I don't think it actually matters who his target is. I just think he has to kill somebody. Like, I think like the longer the game state goes on and all he's doing is farming top and K'Sante's farming top, it's going to be worse for him. Although he does have a sizable CS lead. I'm not sure how much of it is actually from laning K'Sante, but it does seem like he's beating him really hard right now.
Why did Inspired early smite that Raptor? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Look, from jungler to jungler, I don't know.
Yeah, Licorice was giving his good explanation. And I'm like, my jungle brain.
Why did he smite the chicken?
It was so early.
Maybe he was angry about the last one.
And I was like, yeah,
to burn him down.
It was something about what happened last time. But yeah, then so Contractz there from the brush, still able to secure. Not only is Contractz king of the grub fight from last game, where he didn't die and remained the champion, but he's also king of the Raptor fights here.
Ooh, Quad not afraid to get aggro here on Palafox. Does miss that last rocket, which would have made the trade feel really good, but it is still enough to force Palafox back for now. Bwipo continuing to just put some damage into this top lane turret. By the way, you can still see the number on the map for that top lane tier 1 on FlyQuest's side. That one little sliver of HP has still not been shaved off. It is in the exact same condition it was after the massive wave collision 3 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I will say it's really hard to get to hit TF's tower when you're playing K'Sante. That one generally doesn't happen unless TF has made some pretty big mistakes, but definitely does feel bad to just keep looking at that plate.
All right, well, we're on the timer for our second spawn of grubs onto the map, and Contractz wants to make his visit mid first, go for a little mid-prio gank, and then transition up there. Meanwhile, Huhi actually took the long route and wrapped all the way around top side. So they're eyeballing both solo lanes, and this could be an Alistar Hex flash over.
Yep, Huhi wanted to make the play there. Bwipo recognizing that if he gets headbutted back in the Dhokla, he's in some trouble. But now FlyQuest is making the moves on Palafox. They lock him up. Palafox can't get away from that one. And Quad takes the kill. FlyQuest tie the kills up 1-1, but it's NRG starting up the grubs. They've already taken the first one in this second trio. As Huhi wants to Hex Flash over the wall, he might just Hex Flash into the waiting arms. He's ready to go for the flank. Kai'Sa flies in, and FBI is ready to kick these guys' doors in. Contractz kills Bwipo, and Quad flies away back underneath the tier 1 turret. NRG get a single kill, and they secure control over the river to get the rest of these grubs.
Yeah, I mean, a few really cool things happened there. I mean, it was a really good heads-up play. Bwipo knew he was getting ganked. He instantly pops his ulti and then looks for the target that is going to be isolated because NRG set numbers top.
Whoa, Massu with the barrier staying alive, trying to get away from Palafox! Palafox wanted to show up to defend that turret. They still lose it, and he misses out on the kill on Massu. The barrier was the X factor to keep the Ezreal alive.
Yep, and the flash at the end, too. I was watching that bot lane story during the whole setup on topside, because I'm like, the Kai'Sa's walking for base. They are trying to force this. NRG is trying to force this because they know they've got their AD carry. Meanwhile, Massu was pushing down the remnants of that tower the whole time. Everyone was walking around grub. So I was expecting NRG to actually get more on the top side since they were going to, commit Kai'Sa roaming over there and ulting in and stuff. But because of that early Twisted Fate ult, that FlyQuest were able to kill off Palafox first, they actually got quite a good start. So here's number 2.
Yeah.
Let's see. The one Mystic Shock misses, but it doesn't matter because Massu is able to flash away. And then that distance, Palafox actually tries to jump through the air. And because Quad is there with the damage, before the damage of your rocket jump landing, he's like, just one little bit more damage, don't jump. Like the time that it takes to buffer and jump through the air.
Yeah.
And then he goes down. Yeah, so close.
Yeah. No, it looks like all coaching staffs were upset about
everyone.
I'm not totally sure what happened there, but
nobody was really happy about it. It was just a mess.
Nuke Duck. I don't know what the Nuke Duck yelling was about, but yeah, that was an interesting couple of minutes that we just had.
Bwipo was happy. Bwipo was popping off.
Yeah, Bwipo made a really good play there. And then it looks like NRG, or FlyQuest, their response to, they had 3 grubs already, so they're like, Massu, just get ahead. And then he got a free extra kill.
Contractz making the move here, tries to dive onto Bwipo. Huhi ready to flash forward, follow this one up. The Twisted Fate is not long for this world, and it's Huhi taking the kill credit. Busio can escape with enough HP to not be threatened himself, but with NRG pushing into this top side, it's making room for Palafox to knock down plates on this top lane tier 1 turret. He'll definitely get the 4th one. I don't know if there's enough time left to be able to secure the 5th. Explosive charge, still putting in a little bit of work here, but I don't think he's going to get that last one just quite yet. Still attacking it all the way to the very end. Maybe he will. That's a lot of resistances on it. Hold on, 10 seconds. 9, 8. Dhokla's in some trouble, but I'm focused more on this turret. 5, 4, 3. Nope. Nope, just barely missed out on it.
This is the same tower that triggered your OCD with the turret plate.
Yeah, look at how much health it lives by the way. It's the exact same amount that was left on the plate.
This thing is trolling you, Flowers.
This story has lasted the whole early game. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it's problems for NRG. I was distracted by the damn turret, and Dhokla and Huhi are both dead. FlyQuest, 4-3.
I actually like plays like that where you let the tower local gold kind of go into the dirt after if it's so close to going down, and then you like deny a little bit, even though the enemy team gets the gold now that for the global gold, denying some of the local kind of cool.
Yeah, I always think letting the tower die like that is good. And it just looked like NRG got a little hypey in the bot lane. Huhi came behind him, they tried to force the fight, and it turned out terribly for them. So they're going to be on the back foot a little bit here, and I think FlyQuest will just have more control of the map.
Yeah, it's looking very good for FlyQuest, I gotta say. Having Quad and Massu be the recipients of some of these early kills is exactly the state of the game that they want again. Much more similar to game number 1 here, but Ezreal on Trinity Force and Corki on Trinity Force. So having the double Trinities done here, they're able to take over vision control of the enemy jungle as well. Notice all of these blue wards that have been put so deep into the NRG jungle. FlyQuest already know that this move towards bottom's happening.
Ooh, Contractz tries to use the ulti there on Quad, but it ain't gonna get him a whole lot. Bwipo with the red card over the wall, only finds Huhi. Solar Flare, accurate enough to get the full stun. Huhi's trying to get away, but he cannot survive the damage from FlyQuest. Palafox with a rocket jump for the escape. Dhokla wanted the flank, but now he has to flash back over. He put himself in the wrong spot. Dhokla, one more rocket will take him down, but it's Mystic's shot to get the kill credit. As Contractz still has to run. NRG again trying to make some kind of a move, but it's FlyQuest who respond better.
And FlyQuest have full info to respond. That's the reason, like these super deep wards, they see them walking down to the bottom side and they're like, Bwipo. Oh yeah, they're walking right to us. Get ready, buddy. Pop the Twisted Fate ultimate. Huge counter there from FlyQuest. Nice use of information.
Yeah, and just watching NRG here, it feels like they're doing all the right things when they're setting up the plays, and then it just feels like something goes wrong. Like they were hitting the top tower with Tristana, trading it for the dragon, and then they die bot lane. They're setting up the vision so Palafox can get the push out, and then they just like go in too far in the enemy jungle. So it just feels like they just feel a little like over-eager, or like they're all trying to force a little bit too hard, which is something that can happen when like plays haven't been going your way.
Massu still just shoving up here in the mid lane, still unafraid of Huhi and FBI. Ooh, Arcane shifts
the wrong way.
Right into him. I don't think that was ideal.
All right, NRG trading Massu for the Rift Herald. not bad for them.
All right.
It's part of the mental game.
Yes, that's what I do when I arcane shift on top of my opponent in a 1v3. I'm like, yeah, you're terrorized up in the brain, aren't you?
He was 1v2ing them early on in the game. And now he's just asserting dominance. You're not just gonna kill me. I'm gonna jump right into it.
This isn't your play. This is my play.
Exactly. Take control of the situation, Flowers.
Today I learned this is.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, NRG is going to have another chance with the Massu kill to set up on the map here. And looking at items, it actually looks really good for them here. Like, despite being down 3k gold, they're actually up completed items in a lot of roles. So I think if they're able to find a fight in the next few minutes, it should be really, really good for them.
Yep, 3,500 gold lead for FlyQuest. Only that one Drake taken so far in the game. Very slow Drake game here in number 3 of this series. Massu trying to just not get himself in any extra danger here. He knows that Energy dudes like to hang out and try to beat this Ezreal up as a team.
They're TPing behind top lane.
Yeah, Quad's now going to be your target as my monitor is frozen, but we're going to try to cast off of the noises. Okay, looks like Dhokla's actually dead to Quad, so Quad gets one back here in the 1v2 trade.
Yeah, that's really good. That's good for Quad.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, you'll take that. You'll take that. If you're Energy, that's not very good. You are not super happy about that one. If you're FlyQuest, you're loving this. You're having a great time.
yeah, and just really unfortunate. Like this, it's like the same thing. Like the Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. They had full control. Like the Rift Herald is going to give some control back to FlyQuest, but they go for the top lane. It doesn't work out, and they just like lose everywhere.
Energy's down almost 5,000 now, man. 5K at not even 19 minutes into the game. That is really tough for Energy to fight back against. Pretty much any fight out in the open, not underneath the turret, or without an incredible engage angle from Energy is going to be almost impossible to win.
And FlyQuest are really well set up to spread the map right now. Bwipo double summoners on Twisted Fate are available. His ultimate is available, so let's see how FlyQuest can continually increase this lead. So let's take another look, because, yeah, I don't know if it was live or not, but we saw the aftermath in which Quad invested his flash to go 1-for-1.
Man, this is paper mache K'Sante. His health bar just completely drains every single time he goes near this Corki. Quad's damage is over the top right now. With Trinity Force and Infinity Edge both completed, this guy hurts.
That guy hurts. The K'Sante guy definitely not hurting.
No, he doesn't hurt that much. He just has a blue glove. He's not that. He's not swinging hard.
The Twisted Fate advantage over there in gold pretty massive as well. So let's see the push in now, because topside they are already able to push up minions to the tower and rotate through the jungle. Looks like even the harassment starts to come through. Bwipo sent bottom to go collect the wave that Dhokla has at least pushed up to secondary, though.
Yeah, I mean, Bwipo used his turn to help his team get control, and now this Baron, especially with the Zyra, is just going to get really scary for NRG. They constantly have to walk in and check this, and it's just going to be like up to FlyQuest to make the picks or start the Baron or like make something happen.
And I like the fact that you mentioned the picks, because two big of those playmaking items just came online. Inspired with the Rylai's, rapid fire cannon on Bwipo. Both of these can be very effective in securing kills, and otherwise you would need just that little bit more to get them.
Yeah, they have item leads in a bunch of lanes. Almost all lanes with item leads right now, 2-to-1 completed items. And then even support has completed item advantage with the Warmog's extra move speed coming in for Busio as well to look for picks. 2 item spikes are on both of their carries here. Well, all 3 of them, all 4 of them even.
Well, the other thing that I am looking at across the table at least, the Seeker's Arm Guard for Contractz. This is going to let him go in and make that explosive engage without worrying about being instantly blown up by Zyra roots into TF Gold Card or Leona or whatever. So if Contractz can get a lot of value out of his Seekers, there is still that huge engage potential win condition for one of these upcoming fights.
Yeah, Energy right now just trying to keep farming kind of safely towards towers while playing the dangerous game of keeping enough vision over Baron that you can contest with that all-in play that you're talking about, where they full send it and try and get a full engage if a commitment towards the Baron actually does occur. But if they're able to farm up a bit and kind of slow it down a little bit and wait for that opportunity as Huhi gets chunked out looking towards mid, then you still can hope for that big explosive engage.
Dhokla wanted to see if maybe Bwipo would just get a little bit too aggressive there, trying to attack Contractz as he went for the ward, but it doesn't happen, so no potential 2v1 play for the K'Sante and Diana against that Twisted Fate. FlyQuest still up 4,500 gold as Contractz loses his flash. As soon as you see that TF ulti above you, you know you might be in some trouble. Huhi flashes for it for the pulverize, but the headbutt ain't gonna find anybody here just yet. Bwipo finally gonna be knocked forward, and Contractz goes on a rampage, grabbing the first kill. Quad takes one out, but he's gonna be traded back now too. Energy have found themselves a good fight thus far, and Busio's gonna be your next target. They try to launch K'Sante forward for the third in Tofo strike, but he does not find the knockup. Inspired still slowing these guys down here with the Rylai's, a little bit more damage, and it's true shot barrage to even up the fight. 2 for 2.
Is Huhi still messing around back there? The Alistar is still in Fog of War. Alistar's... Ooh. Ezreal's too far away.
Yep.
It's too close to, like, topside Fog of War advantage for FlyQuest, so can't do anything. But I kind of like that. He's looking around for these comeback possibilities. And that play starting out with another Contractz Raptor steal into Bwipo popping the ultimate and going for it. Actually started out quite nice for NRG, where they're able to avoid the initial engage, but then get the re-engage.
Yeah, there are a few things here that were really interesting. Like first, Contractz actually ended up whiffing his ult, which I think would have made a big difference in the fight. And then Palafox and FBI find a nice 1v2 onto Quad on the left side. But Quad actually manages to take out Palafox in the 1v2. So I was honestly shocked that the fight went this well for NRG, all those things considered.
And yeah, but then here, there's so much damage soaked up by Dhokla. It's this root. Slows him down first, then hits the root. Man, the Rylai slow enables it, and then they just poke him down, and that K'Sante immediately punished again. The starved top laner.
Oh boy, we ain't done yet, boys. Bwipo's in some trouble, trying to get away to the wall, maybe flash out of this one, but he doesn't have any summoner spells. Palafox finishes the job, and now Rocket jumps back over, ready to re-engage back into Busio. FlyQuest is losing dudes, and they're losing them fast. Inspired has to try to get away back over the wall. They're not gonna find him with a Void Seeker. NRG, they've traded 2 for 1. They got a 4v3 on the map, but their health bars aren't looking so great. Quad and Massu, they got a lot of damage, they got a lot of range, they got another kill here on the enemy support. 2 for 2 when the dust settles.
It's always the extra exit kill for FlyQuest. They keep on with their extra range, poking down the last melee, trying to run away on the side of NRG.
Yeah, looks like Busio was starting up the play, and then Contractz got the angle onto Bwipo. NRG full committed, and then Palafox crucially got the critical or Kraken auto there to finish him off, or else I think this fight looks a lot different.
Yeah, that was really close with the proc. And then Dhokla charging in on the K'Sante, but they can't chase down the extra one, so then trying to run away. The Rylai's there, slowed him down for another Mystic Shot, and then Quad over the wall. Just throwing out rockets. He hit the rockets, all 3 in a row, and just blowing them up as they're trying to run away.
Yeah, no, these Corki rockets and these Ezreal Qs hurt a lot.
And I like the fact that you mentioned it was the Kraken auto from the Tristana that guaranteed the kill on Bwipo over the wall, because it's also the big one from Quad that kills off the Alistar. I think if it was a smaller rocket, he might have been able to live through that. Not 100% sure. The Palafox level 15 here on this Tristana, just only now hitting that level 15. Quad is almost 16 for the maxed out version of those rockets that you guys are talking about that are already such a huge problem for NRG to deal with.
Let's see here. Bwipo's heading over on the Twisted Fate as well. Maybe they're going to look for a push mid play here with the support of Twisted Fate ult. It's kind of dangerous for NRG, so you can see them ceding ground around Baron. And FlyQuest trying to use their brute force timing to clear out some of the wards.
Okay, NRG's got Palafox and Huhi hanging around on top of a couple of control wards.
Dhokla coming
so
too.
They're not seen. As Massu and Busio will chase FBI and Contractz back away from the mid lane. Gold card hits FBI. He ain't going to kill him, but getting out that cleanse is huge. There's a solar flare to follow it up. They lock down the AD carry, but it's the top laner who pays the price. Dhokla falls and Massu goes on a killing spree. That is a big frontline element of this NRG comp, no longer available, and FlyQuest sees their green light to start the Baron.
Yeah, I think that's a really crucial pick to find on the side of FlyQuest, because the last few fights haven't been going their way, and I don't think the game is going to get any easier for them as the time goes on. So looks like they're turning off the Baron and trying to fight here.
They're ready to turn it. Contractz goes in for the engage, and Palafox has already killed off Inspired. Bwipo returns one into FBI as Contractz goes golden, trying to stay alive for an extra second. Quad doesn't die to the Ignite, and Huhi thought he might have been able to kill him with just the burn. A double kill back over to Bwipo. Quad still got about 200 HP. It's him and Busio. Bwipo all just now turning back over onto the Baron. Quad still has his TP. He's going to go back into the jungle at the same time. He doesn't want to die to some random Baron puke. Now he rejoins. Now he's got some extra health. Now FlyQuest is wearing purple.
And this is all just because of that mid lane pick. You know, they get a tiny bit of chip damage there on the FBI, but it's gold card from the Twisted Fate that forces the cleanse, and then Dhokla walks around, and so they get the actual kill on the front line, allowing for this 4v5 kind of advantage in the team fight. And again, Bwipo doing a lot of work there. In this one, he takes down FBI as well, and then forces out the other carry.
Yeah, big performance from Bwipo in this fight, just dealing with both of those 80 carries. And again, Quad, one more tick of the Ignite would have killed Quad off, but it's just that slight little bit of damage that they didn't have, and Huhi realized he couldn't do any more, so he had to run away. NRG now down 7,000 gold. FlyQuest, they are on sole point. They are going to have Baron all the way through the duration of this next Drake summon timer, so they can control the Rift for the next 2 minutes, then immediately translate that over into a Soul. NRG's job is tough right now.
It certainly is. I mean, these Twisted Fate picks are so difficult to deal with. With the Dead Man's Plate for the mobility and the Rapid Fire Cannon.
Yep.
Bwipo there just creating so much offensive pick power, walking around, threatening Leona. It's the Leona ultimate that does land at tower.
Oh, and FBI's already dead from the Stranglethorns. Looks like they're going to follow it up with another one almost on Dhokla. 200 HP left on K'Sante, but with the enemy carry dead, with the top laner at death's door, it's so easy for FlyQuest to just strong-arm their way into this base. Mid lane inhibitor's already down. FlyQuest are not done. They are looking for Nexus turrets. Contractz here in the front. He's going to get stunned up before we can do anything. That first Nexus turret's still in trouble. Bwipo having a flash away as he would have been in a really bad spot there from the headbutt out of the Alistar. Busio underneath the turret looking to tank up that aggro as Bwipo goes on a killing spree. And there's another one of those huge playmakers for NRG no longer in the picture. Dhokla trying to stay alive, but this is the squishiest K'Sante I have ever seen. Quad don't care, and NRG are on their last legs. Contractz again with the stasis, just trying to make some sort of a last desperate attempt, but it ain't gonna work. FlyQuest bringing back those reinforcements here with a TP as FBI respawns only to die. Palafox wants to get on out. Quad needs one more rocket. He's still chasing. It doesn't even matter that he doesn't get it because the Nexus is under fire. FlyQuest with an 11,000 gold lead, 29 minutes into the game, win the series.
Yeah, they finally found that pick mid lane they were looking for, quickly turned it into a Baron, and then just won the game instantly.
So critical there. The Twisted Fate doing a lot of work, but also the double AD carries continue to reign supreme. Flowers, I don't think we're going to see a deviation from this meta for a while.
Yeah, the double AD carries with these AP junglers is so strong. Zyra having a big performance every single game in this series. It's all wrapped up now, and we're joining Jatt and FlyQuest for an interview.
I'm here with basically the entire FlyQuest team. I was asking who did the interview, and everyone's saying Quad. Quad, how do you feel about your first win in the LCS?
I always hope playing your game, and also exciting. Yes, I'm happy.
Congratulations, Quad. Bwipo, what's it been like playing with the new mid laner, and also how was the series for you?
Okay, that's a twofold question. So the first thing is, due to the meta changes, I think it's different for our team to like adjust and the way we play as a team. So we've been adjusting our roles and the way we play from spring, and that's been a little bit of a challenge. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to adjust to Quad as much as we'd like. So we do look a little worse, but I think that's mostly due to meta changes. Like in the past, we don't almost always have Inspired making space for the team, and then Busio would be playing more like lane bullies and stuff. Now it's kind of the other way around, where Inspired is farming a lot. You know, the AP junglers, they look pretty menacing. So Busio has to take all the space, and we're working on that really well. And I'm really proud of Alan because he's done a really good job of learning that. And it's been good so far. I like Quad a lot.
That's good to hear. How has it been adjusting to the changes since MSI with the team?
Yeah, I mean, as Bwipo said, the meta change is very different. Like my role in the game, as he said, I need to make space, get vision alone, while Inspired's being an absolute demon in the farm department and just being absolutely broken once he gets some items. And then, yeah, also just integrating with Quad and restructuring.
Yeah. Inspired, how have you enjoyed being able to take so much money in game as AP junglers?
It's very boring because you don't interact with champs. Like with Zyra, you just do plants. With Kartus, just press ult. So basically, there is no mechanics involved. The only thing you need to know is like track people on the map and try to get camps when they're not there. So it's like low-key boring to play, I think.
Thanks. And Massu, last question for you. What are your expectations now for FlyQuest in the rest of the split now that you picked up your first win?
I don't really have any expectations of us, but like from our scrims and from the trajectory we're going at, I think I don't see any team other than TL like putting up a challenge. So I think it's good.
All right, hoping for a rematch in finals maybe with TL at the end of it. FlyQuest, congratulations on your win. Have a good short week off before we come back on Thursday, Friday for LCS. But we're going to be tossing to a break. Next up, Team Liquid versus Shopify. Thank you guys. That was great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay. If I see
yeah,
they're on it. They're on it. They're on it? Yeah.
Leona,
We're like fighting.
I'm coming over.
Nice fucking job, Jay.
You got it? Okay, nice.
Okay, Leona was kind of...
Dude, why'd you put your new rig in the basement?
Didn't you hear? Bill's a good gillionaire now.
Basically, my new connection is so strong I can game anywhere. Check it out. We've got Gamer Rocker, Gamer Floaty, Gamer Couch.
Whoa.
It's got wheels.
Gamer Bench, Gamer Throne, and Gamer Mower.
What's that?
It's hard to game while walking downstairs.
I get it.
That's smart.
Live like a gagillionaire with low latency everywhere. AT&T Fiber with All-Fi.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I see you dancing with it. We've been listening to this for a little bit. Watch me, baby, yeah, follow me.
Just kill him. Fight.
Looks like a good fight. Leona can
Gold card on this guy.
Leona can
He can't play.
Cassandra is CC.
Yeah, go Cassandra.
Okay, flash. Yeah, chase Diana too. She has flash. She will have to.
I'm pushing both.
Yeah.
No flash.
Look, yeah, look. I'm on Leona.
No, go on TF. Go on TF, guys, okay?
We're coming. Yeah. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
TF, look at Zyra. I'm just hitting Leona. Look, Zyra.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Zyra flash.
Careful,
Okay, go back if you can. Okay. Coming back. Yeah. I'm coming right now. Tristana, no flash. I'm running.
No cleanse.
They're going just on me.
I gold carded the thingy, the Tristana, and the Kai'Sa. I'm winning.
And you're killing everyone. Help me. Corki. Oh, nice. Corki survived.